When I wake up, I have to take like 4 times more than I used to, because now I have to fit in my prosthesis, make sure it's fitting well, try and walk a bit before I now leave the house to make sure that everything is okay. Yeah, and then when I come to the office, the accessibility to the office is another challenge, and I have to go up the stairs and down some of the slopey bits, which is a bit challenging.
One of the challenges is lack of lifts, especially in the old buildings. So one has to use stairs. And the other challenge is with the new gates at UN complex, it becomes a bit tricky opening, because I think I do it a bit slower than a normal person. So by the time I'm getting at the center of the gate, it locks me out.
Like any medical condition or any limitations in a workplace, the resultant frustration from not being able, for instance, to achieve your set out goals, to achieve your objectives, even if it's for the day or for the hour, your interactions with your fellow colleagues. Whenever there are frustrations in these areas, it impacts significantly, not just on productivity, but also on mental health.
The UN must lead by example. We need to make our organization fully accessible for persons with disabilities and maintain their rights. We've heard our colleagues, and I want to ensure everyone that here at UN in Nairobi, promoting disability inclusion is a priority, and it is one that all agencies are committed to. We need to break down all barriers, whether in programs or operations or in access. And we need to make this a truly inclusive UN family, because the rights of persons with disabilities are human rights. And this is our collective responsibility. It is a non-negotiable for a sustainable and inclusive future for all.
I remember there's some time I had, my prosthesis was not working, so I had to go to JMS, the clinic, and request them if I can get some time off to have it repaired. So for a week I stayed at home while it was being repaired. And I wanted to get a better one from South Africa, because the ones in Kenya are not as advanced. But my request was denied. I was told I'm a local staff, so I need to get something from Kenya or East Africa.
When I went seeking the refund for the first time I bought the crutches, it was quite cumbersome, I might say so. And cumbersome in a distasteful way. To an extent, when I was buying the second time, I did not even consider getting my refund, because I remember the first time I had to go get a letter from the medical from the JMS. I got one, then I was told it's not good enough. I went back to the same doctor. For him, there are some things it said he didn't write. I went back. Then after that, they still questioned why I needed the crutches. I mean, it was not in good taste.
JMS also takes part in, advocating for dignity and inclusion through the UN for All training, which is carried out by UN Cares, which has always been a part of JMS, where staff are trained on matters human rights and inclusion and dignity in relating to persons living with disability.
I would say the first thing is to educate the people, the staff in the UN, because most of them, they don't know what challenges you're going through. They don't, if they meet somebody who is physically challenged, they don't know how to deal with them.
The managers are sensitive, because I remember the first time they came up with these orthopedic chairs, the manager came to ask me whether I needed one. I had not indicated, but she was mindful enough to ask. So for that reason, I would say they're sensitive enough.
The challenge is especially with those disabilities that are hidden, as opposed to those that are visible to anyone who's observing or who comes across someone living with disability. There are those that may not be as obvious, and so those may require declaration.